my approval.
Here, you can't hear.
Yes.
Stand right there.
She's really
She
excited.
wanted, yeah.
They said need a location, so I told them
Yeah.
but we wanted the bipartisan.
Good, all right.
Thanks, man.
Then you got a meeting coming up. A week or two anyway, too, so.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
How are we on time? Do we have 2 minutes or no? I don't know. I usually.
Right on the button.
Don't jinx it.
Everybody's still standing up. Yeah, I'll wait. It's not a long agenda. Shouldn't be.
Hey, he's trying to size me up. Put me in one of those boxes. My tape measure that.
Which is one of those boxes?
Hey, he's still trying to size me up.
I know you.
Are you plugged in?
That's his job.
Marty's still on vacation.
Yes.
Really?
I'm gonna get back tomorrow.
Oh, they take a minute.
How you doing, Jim?
Hey, wasn't that in there? Withdrawal back here, calling it.
You know what? I'm finally catching up on it. You know?
No, I sure
I was going at 11 o'clock this morning. I got there at 1:30.
I'm thorough, Pat.
No, I'm sorry.
Hey, Mr. Mudron, how are you?
Question, aren't you leaving town for this one?
I'm good, dear. How about yourself?
May what? Oh, okay. We're going to May 6th. I'm in Florida for a little bit, 5 days.
What? Yeah, they should be. 'Cause
Oh, thanks.
their mics are on.
Lady from
I was going to ask you, too.
HR.
So whether they're on or off.
Where did we go last year? No, we went
So I keep them on. So it's a Washington.
Dead lead this morning.
Washington, D.C.
See you gone all week.
Hey, did you get that thing about the township high schools, about some award?
The judge or whatever?
May 2nd, award of excellence for education or something. You got a meeting that night.
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing we got the last couple of years.
Is it?
And I went to it for 2 minutes last time and said, thanks, but I gotta come run down here.
Okay. I'll email him back. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Not too much fun.
You're doing a lot of this more than this.
Okay, this is the pre-council meeting for April 17th, 2017 for the city of Joliet. Mayor Bob Odekirk presiding.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilwoman Hernandez Brewer. Here. Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudron.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman. Here. Councilman Toon.
Here.
First, we have citizens to be heard on agenda items.
Cornell.
Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Seeing none, we'll pass it to the city manager to discuss the agenda items for tomorrow's meeting.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We've got a number of proclamations tomorrow, committee reports, consent agenda, which is predominantly paying our bills, and then we've got some position vacancies due to, again, summer seasonal positions that we're filling down at the wastewater treatment plant to do some painting. We've got some positions in the downtown, the mayor's secretary position, she's retiring. We've got an animal compliance coordinator position also working out of the mayor's office, and then an office assistant part-time for the summer out of the city clerk's office. Council Memo 194 is a carnival that's traditionally held, I think, every year at the Louis Joliet Mall. And I think staff has an over-under on whether or not Councilman Turk will vote for that.
Yeah, jury's still out.
Council Memo 196 is the annexation of 4 acres over at, this is for the Laraway School. And the Speedway is the requesting petitioner. And again, there's a tabling of this. At your next meeting, the other 40 acres will also be tabled as well. There's been some delays on that. The petitioner didn't realize that he wasn't exactly following the statute because there were people living on the property, and he didn't think there was. He thought the house was empty. So that'll also have to be tabled again. Council Memo 198 is a revision to our liquor licenses. As you know, we have code where places like the Rialto that have large numbers of people can have certain liquor license compliance. What this does is it, in essence, allows a bar that has a capacity over 500 people, specifically the Forge that's opening in the downtown, allows for some expansion of responsibilities. Maybe I'll have Mr. Regis explain how that is different from what it is today.
The way it's been for as long as I'm aware of, and I don't know why this never came up before, but remember, Rialto's got a Class B license. A Class B license does not allow for minors on the premises. So we want every place to be successful. We want them to comply with the ordinance. So what we did was we made the proprietor of a building with a capacity of greater than 500 people exempt from that requirement. So if you have a Class B license and you have a building that is approved for an occupancy of greater than 500 people, you can allow minors on the premises, and the proprietor is responsible for controlling it. So a show at the Rialto then would be legal under the ordinance, as well as our new venue downtown, and those are the only two buildings in town that would apply to. Every place else, there are places with a greater capacity, but they're already exempt for other reasons like banquet halls and things like that. This would just bring them into compliance, which is what we want.
Thank you.
I got, Mayor? So all of the banquet facilities that we're aware of in our city limits or motel banquet halls, what class, they don't have a Class B license today? They have a...
Correct. There is a different class of license for a banquet facility or a hotel, and there is already an exemption built into the statute allowing them to have minors on the premises. The only problem that we ran into with these two places downtown was they had a traditional Class B license like just about every place in town does that cannot have minors on the premises, and we want to help the Rialto. We don't want them to not be in compliance, which is why we're doing this.
Okay.
Mayor, I have a question. Yeah. What if at some point down the road we were to have a bar, build a new bar with over 500 capacity?
Well, then it would be a really big bar
Yeah, it
if
would.
that was the case. And we can cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, there's no
So we
place
would have to make
that's
an adjustment if that
no
happened.
place that's even close to it.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
what about Bicentennial Park? Does this include that too?
It does not. Bicentennial Park has, remember, we just changed it a
Right.
few weeks back. They've got their own Class P license that is specifically written for them and their purposes. So this would not affect their operations at all.
Thank you.
The ballpark, I take it, has a special license?
Ballpark has a special license as well. And so does the racetrack and every place else that we're now thinking of. But thank you for asking all the questions, because you guys are right on the money with that.
Thank you.
So you can drink it now.
Council Memo 200 has to do with the special meeting that Mayor and Council held this last Wednesday, which is to accept a proposal for recruitment services with GovHR for the position of city manager. This evening, we have Joellen Earl from GovHR here, and she can answer any questions or concerns that you have about the recruitment process.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. I guess I'll start out. Is the process going to be similar to what we went through 3 years ago? A lot of people in the council were present for that. Is it the same type of form?
Yes, unless you would like to tailor it at all, but yes.
Okay. I wouldn't like to tailor. I thought it worked pretty well. If I remember right, we had about 80 or 90 applicants, and your organization kind of whittled them down to a manageable number, maybe 20 or 15, and then the council became involved and worked on it.
Yes. Yes, my general procedure would be to do the outreach and then develop some type of matrix to show how the candidates meet the profile that you set, and then meet with you and present the candidates after we do Skype interviews and some initial vetting and background screening.
Yes.
Do you have an ongoing city manager position open in the Midwest that you've are currently working on?
I do not, but our firm has several.
Size-wise for the cities that you typically end up looking for a manager?
So I personally worked with the city of Decatur. They hired Tim Gleason about 2 years ago. I worked in the city of Cambridge, Mass. It's about 100,000, so still a little bit smaller than Joliet. I was the HR director in the city of Evanston when we hired our manager. So I've had experience. I've also done a lot of national recruitments with large organizations. I've worked with the Firemen's Annuity and Benefit Fund of Chicago to get their executive director. So while they're not cities per se, some of these nonprofits, the constituents are tens of thousands of people.
And if I read this right, you would be our main contact with your help behind you, or?
Yes, and Mr. Bezat, who worked with you last time, is still working for our firm. He's retired, but I can certainly consult with him as well.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
Oh, you can tell him we'd like to see him once in a while.
Okay, maybe I can convince him to come with me.
I would like a list of all the applicants, not necessarily all the resumes, what you whittled down from the main list, just a brief summary of everyone that applied, but then not to get into the ones that you've already picked. I just want to see who's out there, who's interested.
Yes, that's standard. We will give you the names of everyone who applied. And then I will also have that matrix, so you could say to me, Joellen, why did you not pick this particular individual? And I'll be able to look back at my notes and let you know that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I'm very comfortable. Mr. Bezat did a good job, and you haven't gone over, the proposal's very similar. The process is going to be the same, and you have all the resources. You'll do a great job, I'm sure. I just want to know, is it company policy that you do bring the cherry pastries to these meetings, like Mr. Bezat did?
That's why I want to see
I'd
him.
have to go to Wisconsin to get them, but I think I can arrange for that.
Questions? Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Council memos 201, 202, 203, and 204
Don't think I
have
see
been
it.
previously approved by mayor and council. However, a resolution accepting the IEPA agency low-interest loan for each one of these is on the agenda for your approval for projects that you've already approved, including water main rehab project, wastewater, the West Side wastewater treatment plant, phosphorus removal and expansion, sewer rehab project, and also Phase 3 wet weather treatment facility project. Council Memo 205 is a resolution appropriating funds for the Douglas Street Knox Place roadway improvements project, and this is using motor fuel tax funds for the project. Council Memo 206 is also a resolution appropriating funds for the Marion Street, York Avenue roadway improvement project. This is reviewed, both of these projects will be reviewed by the Public Service Committee. Then actually the rest of the agenda are bids, contracts, awards, change orders. One thing I do want to point out is the second item under award of contract, which is 209, which is a request for authorization to award the contract for professional engineering services for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering for the Hobart Road interchange modification and roadway reconstruction project. As you know, this is going to create what's called a divergent diamond underneath I-80, where the traffic actually crosses to the left-hand side, but it creates a smoother traffic flow for entrance onto the expressway, especially with trucks, and creates less accidents. It also includes modification of the roadway from that point all the way down to where the new bridge will be. Now, what we're doing here in this award of contract is selecting a company who will act on our behalf in the selection of the engineering company who will actually do the project. As you know, when the Transportation Center project came along, we assigned an internal member of our engineering staff to the project, and she's been missing for the last 4 years because she spent 100% of her time on that project. And right now, with the economic development that's going on, the engineering department can't afford to lose another internal staff member. So it was decided that we're going to hire an outside firm who will represent us in the selection process and kind of oversight of that whole project on our behalf. And the important thing is that all of these expenses are being funded by IDOT. So, again, this is Trans Systems Corporation. We've done a lot of work with them, and they currently just completed Phase 1 of Chicago Street going through, and they're working on Phase 2 on our behalf. With that, Mayor, I've got a request for closed session. If there are no other
I would
questions
just
on the
add the
agenda.
1.9 million, we have 2.1 million budgeted, so we came in, even using the state's money, under budget. And I would let all of you know on the council, I went to an Easter brunch yesterday, I won't say who and what town, ran into someone from one of our neighbors to the east, one of the many towns, and he asked me, he said, "What the heck are you guys doing out in Joliet? You got nothing but development going on," his exact words. So people are noticing what we're doing up here.
First, we have public comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak under public comments this evening? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into a closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition, or conveyance pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
Motion. Second.
Motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Hernandez Brewer.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye?
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried.